Information about Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Izzleen Rafi 2210152. Today I will present the youth perception, social media influence, and youth willingness to travel to extreme sports tourism. Information about youth perception of the impact of tourism activity and their support for its development can be very helpful in formulating tourism plans and policies. Along with growing social media technologies and globalization, it inspires and motivates travel to extreme sports tourism that is essential to have a significant impact on youth travel to Malaysia for extreme sports tourism. And next, the problem statement for my topic is I want to investigate the strongest variable between youth perception and social media influence will explain youth willingness to travel extreme sport tourism. By identifying the strongest variable, it can determine which factors would affecting youth willingness and youth intention. It is important to increase the social media influence and to ensure youth engagement and participation with leisure and other tourism activities. Guys, my first research question is, what is the level of youth perception, social media influence, and youth willingness to travel extreme sports tourism in Malaysia? And research question number 2, is there any significant relationship between social media influence and youth willingness to travel to extreme sports tourism in Malaysia? And research question 3, what is the strongest variable between youth perception, social media influence that influence youth willingness to travel to extreme sports tourism in Malaysia? Research objective 1 is to examine the level of youth perception, social media influence, and youth willingness to travel extreme sports tourism in Malaysia. Research objective 2, to investigate the relationship between perception, social media influence, and willingness to travel to extreme sports tourism in Malaysia. Research objective 3, to investigate the strongest variable between perception, social media influence that explain youth willingness to travel to extreme sports tourism in Malaysia. And this is my literature review. I have 3 previous study that I focus on, which is first research previous study. The author said that a deeper understanding from the residents' perception need to help the concerned governments plan for more efficiently for the future of tourism. And previous study number 2, the author analyzed social media that identified as influential force in shaping youth perception, increase the youth for future perception. Number 3, the author focused on mediating and moderating relationship between travel motivates and destination involvement. The methodology that I use for this study is, first, research design is a quantitative method, and number 2 is statistical analysis. Statistical analysis for research objective 1 I use as descriptive, which is research objective 1 I want to examine the level of youth perception, social media influence, and youth willingness to travel extreme sport tourism in Malaysia. For inferential analysis, I use as research objective 2 and research objective 3. Next is data analysis. I search for the scale of the questionnaire that I spread. And number 2 is descriptive analysis. Descriptive analysis, I search for the median, for mean for the each independent variable. I search for the means. And lastly is the inferential analysis, inferential statistic. Inferential statistic, I search for the correlation. In data analysis, I search for, and the sampling technique. I use for I select as a sample from a larger population in a way that ensures each member of the population has an equal chance of being chosen. It involves randomly selecting individuals or items from the population without any specific pattern or criteria beyond the requirement of equal probability, which is I take a simple random sampling as my sampling technique lah. And I have a population of 1,000 people on youth. I wanted to select a sample of more than 30 respondents through simple random sampling. Each of the 1,000 individuals have an equal chance of being chosen as part of the sample because they also categorized as youth, which is 18 to 24 years old. Next is the all the part and all the independent variable I adapt from the previous study. All the process, I do the pilot test. First, I draft the questionnaire, and then I got an approval questionnaire from the expert, which is Dr. Shamsul Amri. And number 3, I select sampling group, which is I use as random sampling technique. And then after I select the sampling group, I spread the questionnaire. And after I got the questionnaire and I got the respondent, I use the SPSS to search for my research objective and investigate the level of perception, social media influence, and youth willingness to travel to extreme sports tourism in Malaysia. And this is the result. I have a summary, which is the variables youth perception 4.516 and social media influence 4.413, youth willingness to travel 4.321. This is the summary for mean that I have do. And I want to investigate the Pearson correlation for youth perception and social media influence, which is the significant value is 0, and the Pearson correlation is 0.701 for youth perception. For social media influence, the Pearson correlation 0.768, and the significant value is also 0, which is the Pearson correlation is more is less than 0.05, so it's been accepted or rejected, and my finding is accepted. My finding is rejected for the hypothesis. For the null hypothesis is 0. 3, which is I want to investigate the inferential analysis, which is MLR, the model summary, the significant value between thought B and thought C, my IV1 and IV2. The relationship, the significance is 0.014, and the thought C 0.007 is also accepted. And that's all from me. Thank you. The significant value